Hi, welcome to TCB4EAP, and I'm your host, Jessie Mallory. I have a YouTube podcast where we dive deep into the legacy, life, and legends surrounding Elvis Presley. Today we're tackling a question that sparked a lot of debate among Elvis fans and film lovers alike. Who portrayed Elvis Presley better, Kurt Russell in 1979 or Austin Butler in 2022? Before we narrowed it down to Kurt and Austin, we went through quite a few other people who had portrayed Elvis. Making the top three with an honorable mention was Michael St. Gerard, who portrayed Elvis in the 1990 TV series, capturing Elvis's early years. He had a great look and convincing humbleness that made the series feel authentic. The voting came down to the two actors that played Elvis in full-length movies. Both movies explored Elvis from start to finish. Two actors, two very different eras, two very different films, but both aiming to capture the spirit of one of the most iconic performers in music history. Let's break it all down. Context and time periods. Let's start with the historical context. Kurt Russell portrayed Elvis in the 1979 made-for-TV movie simply titled Elvis, directed by John Carpenter. This was just 2 years after Elvis passed away, and emotions were still raw. The film had a reverent tone and was largely shaped by people who had lived through the height of Elvis's fame. Now fast forward to 2022, Baz Luhrmann's high-octane biopic Elvis brought Austin Butler into the spotlight. This film had the benefit of decades of reflection, a wealth of archival footage, and a new generation discovering Elvis. It was louder, glossier, and more experimental in style. Acting styles. Kurt Russell's performance was grounded, subtle, and deeply respectful. He focused on capturing Elvis's voice and mannerisms without veering into caricature. Remember, Russell was in the movie It Happened at the World's Fair for a brief scene with Elvis, famously kicking Elvis in the shin. Charlie Hodge on set as an advisor when Kurt portrayed Elvis. That connection gave his portrayal a more intimate feel. Austin Butler, on the other hand, went all in. He reportedly spent years perfecting Elvis's voice, movements, and essence. And it shows. Butler's performance was immersive. He didn't just play Elvis, he seemed to become him. He also did all of his own singing for the early Elvis years, which adds another layer of authenticity. Cinematic differences. The 1979 film is chronological, character-focused, and restrained in its visual style. It's a classic TV movie with a nostalgic feel. Luhrmann's 2022 film is the opposite. It's flashy, non-linear, full of montages, and dripping with stylized flair. It's more of a sensory experience than a traditional narrative, which both helped and, for some, distracted from the story. Who portrayed Elvis best? This is the million-dollar question. If you value emotional closeness and historical proximity, Kurt Russell might take the crown. His Elvis feels familiar, human, and rooted in real-life experience. But if you're drawn to transformative acting and a modern cinematic approach, Austin Butler may be your guy. He brought Elvis back to life for a new generation, with all the flash, pain, and power that came with the icon. Ultimately, both actors did something special. They made us care about Elvis all over again. Reading the thousands of comments was very interesting. Some people thought Kurt should win simply because he wore a stage-worn jumpsuit of Elvis's. Some thought Austin should win simply because his movie was more recent. But some of the comments were deep dives into time periods, styles, experience. The one thing I can say, and I'm happy about, is that no one got into any arguments over it, which is rare these days. So, after going over everything and trying to compile the results as fairly as possible, the winner of the debate, by the slimmest of margins, was Austin Butler. Now, this may have a lot to do with Austin having a generous amount of time to prep for his role. He soaked himself in everything Elvis for years before filming even began. He had access to far more than Kurt did. His performance was executed with care, love, time, and extreme effort. Who did you vote for? Who was your all-time favorite Elvis? Comment below. As always, please subscribe to my channel for more deep dives into the world of Elvis. I'm Jessie Mallory, and this is TCB for EAP.